I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
We are odd places going.
Viral.
I'm gonna get
Thanks.
Josh.
I just realized I hate you.
You hate me.
I just realized that. Yes, just now.
Wow. All right. What kind of tip or
Well, you're at a car dealership, and I got reminded that you have an electric car, correct?
I do. I have an
Okay.
electric car.
I don't know if you heard, but gas right now is the new toilet paper. I'm not very happy about
I am not one for
that. For gloating.
saying for saying I told you so. I will say this. I was walking around the showroom looking for a place to be a quiet place, and I noticed a lot of electric cars on the lot. So if you're interested, there's a lot in Claremont that got some electric cars, and there's a cool blue one. I think if I get the new version, I'll get the blue one. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, I.
I, it's crazy. I have one car right now that's full of gas. I've got
Mhm.
another one that's fully empty because I can't drive it to the station and wait in line. Otherwise, I'll run out of gas before I get to the pump.
You're in a
It's nuts.
quagmire. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and there's no reason for it. It's the same thing. It's the toilet paper conundrum all over again.
It is. Wow. You know, I will be honest with you. Deep down in the back of my head, when I got an electric car, I was like, someday this will happen.
Someday I'm going to show those kids.
those, those gas guzzlers. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, and you know what? I didn't bring it up. I didn't think about it until you just said it to me right now. Only because for the last 3 years I've been in an electric car, and this is what I like to do. This is, I mean, yeah. I mean, I haven't paid for gas for a car in over 3 years, which is about $5,000 a year. $15,000. Well, probably more now because the gas is what, like 340, 350. It's going up.
Yeah.
Um, uh, is your point that you're making more of a psychological point of like people that the gas equates to toilet paper because of the hoarding aspect and the you can't. I don't want to sacrifice anything.
Yeah, well, people are scared for no reason. But because people are scared and panicking, it's causing other people to panic, and it's just getting out of hand. Now, I will say this though: when the power goes out, you're screwed, not me. So there's a little bit of a balance to this equation.
Yes. Yeah. 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 There is a
The
little bit
next
of that.
hurricane, the next hurricane that comes through Florida and affects our power grid for a week,
Man.
I'm going to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be. Where will I be? Interestingly enough, there is an island, South Pacific. I do not know the name of the island. I think it might be its own country, and it is trying to be carbon neutral like now. And what they are doing is they have solar panels during the day. They create electricity. They store it. Get a load of this in their cars, and then they switch at night, and the cars supply what they need, and then in the morning, the sunlight supplies their cars. So the cars are like a battery, um, and I think that's so fascinating.
There's only one problem with this idea.
What's that?
What if the sun doesn't come up the next day?
That's kind of like a toilet paper fear, isn't it?
I'm just saying, if the sun doesn't actually come up the next day, then they're kind of screwed, aren't they?
They are. They are definitely. I think the sun's going to come up. More than likely, I think the sun's going to come up. I don't think that's not the issue.
Yeah, but the sun will
That's
come
not the
out
word.
tomorrow. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes in Annie. Okay, so Josh, the psychological thing of this. Why are we baited by fear? Baited.
Well, okay, this is a really easy answer. There are people that still think the election was stolen. 74 million people think the election was stolen. Uh, After
Right.
that, anything is possible.
I'm going to argue that. I'm going to argue that.
Really?
I don't. I
Okay.
don't think there's. I don't think there are 74 million people now.
How many of them? How many of those people that voted for Trump?
I
Why
don't
else
know.
would you vote for Trump?
Uh, I I don't know the number.
Okay.
Um, um, so, however, I do not think it's the amount of people that voted for him.
I saw a survey today said 70% of Republicans still think the election was stolen. So how about we take 70% of the 74 million and
All right,
say it's about 45 million,
got it, got it.
50
45
million,
million.
50 million, 50 million. We're going to say 50 million. That's
Yep,
about
yep.
70%.
All right, I'm with that. I can deal with that. All right,
Okay.
so okay, it is a matter of time before it is. It. I mean, the truth comes out.
Really? Are you sure about that? Because today the GOP just kicked the number 3 person out because she told the truth. Literally, that's the only reason they got rid of Liz Cheney is because she actually believes the truth. So she's out of the leadership. She's not there anymore. Are you sure eventually the truth is going to catch up? Are you sure about that?
Yes, yes. All right, let's look
Okay.
at this. Let's look at this real quickly. So 75%, say 70% of
50 million. Yeah.
okay of Republicans vote. Okay, that will not win an election. People, when people vote, people you know decide the direction. That
If people
number,
vote. Yeah.
yeah, okay, you're right. If people, let's just take it from what happened in 2020, and by these people voting, the chances of a Republican being in the White House is minimal. By taking over the House is minimal. By taking over the Senate is minimal because this 70%, this 50 million, cannot sway the entire. How many people? 220 million people who are eligible to vote.
They can if they suppress the votes of the Democrats, the other side. And
Yeah.
they're doing a pretty darn good job in the states. And the bill for the federal bill to prevent this, the voting rights bill, is running into some snags. It's got some issues.
All right. So what you're saying is because of um, the restrictive voting laws that have been going through the states, Florida,
Yeah.
Iowa, Arizona, I think has got one coming through. Texas has got one coming through. What was the first state? Georgia. Georgia was the first state. So what has happened is the rules have changed, and let's say the rules have expanded. So there's more rules. Okay, I'm going to go with the fair topic. It is fair for everybody then. And you're saying it's not though. You're saying
But
that
it's not. No.
yeah, I mean
The
you do have
rules are making they're making the playing field unlevel. It's not fair rules. When you said, let's say, what if we just made a fair rule? I'm gonna give you an example. Let's talk about it. We're gonna make a fair rule and say bail is always $1 million for anyone. Is
okay.
that a fair rule? If it across the board, every citizen bail is $1 million and only $1 million, is that fair?
No, that's not fair.
Well, no, no, no. But according to your definition, it
I
applies
know.
to everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know.
you
I
see
know
my
what you
point.
mean.
That's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is what's happening.
I don't agree with restricting people's right to vote. That that's my personal thing.
Yeah.
However, okay, here's what I see though. With the restrictions in voting, it's just I feel it's going to be learning the rules again. We're playing baseball, except for guess what? We only have two bases, not three bases. So by learning the rules, you play the game that way until it can be changed back to three bases for baseball.
Okay. And I guess if bail set at $1 million, you better make more money if you ever end up going to jail or if you ever end up in a court case. I guess that's just we'll have to deal with that. I guess, but
Yeah. Um.
or we could fight it. We
No.
can
No.
fight
Yeah.
the rules.
Right. Right. And it is already being fought in court. I think 9 minutes
Yeah.
after the Florida case, the governor signed it in Florida. 9 minutes later, there was already a challenge to that in court. Um. Now, why? Why does it matter if there's restrictions in voting? Because it's not fair.
Well,
Because you're saying it's not fair.
well, you go back to your original question of how can people be so detached from reality, or go so crazy over this gas stuff? Well, let's look at the obvious stuff. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. 50 million people think the election was stolen, detached from reality. There's a lot of people out there that do silly stuff around everything else, gas, toilet paper. So it shouldn't be a surprise. It's just kind of, we've become this sad state of affairs.
Which is, it is human nature, I think. I mean, this is human. I mean, we are
Yeah,
guided by fear.
we need to
We,
extinct ourselves.
hey, speak for yourself. Um, I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
I'm in the Chevy dealership right here, and we are
Odd places going
going
to the Chevy dealership.
viral. Boom.